Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Antarctic Journal, a Korean horror movie from 2005 that stars Song Kang-ho and Yoo Ji-tae. During their journey to the Pole of Inaccessibility, the remotest point of the Antarctic, the expedition of 6 men, led by Captain Choi, played by Song Kang-ho, discovers a journal that was left behind by a British expedition 80 years earlier. And the journal was remarkably preserved in a box in the snow, and another member of the expedition, Kim, played by Yoo Ji-tae, gets the job of examining it. Now, it turns out that the two expeditions shared the same goal, and soon other strange similarities between them begin to emerge. Will they make it to their destination before the sun goes down for the Antarctic winter? Now, the first thing I want to point out when discussing Antarctic Journal is that this was directed by Im Pil-sung. This is one of his earlier films, but he would go on to direct Hansel and Gretel, certain segments of Doomsday Book, and Scarlet Innocence. I do like this director, especially his sense of style, and his films are very visually engaging, but he has had some struggles in the industry in terms of inconsistent box office returns, and they may have kind of stifled his career at times. His last project was in 2019, so I hope he gets back on his horse and returns to the horror genre. I think he has some talent. Now, the opening text of Antarctic Journal references the aforementioned Pole of Inaccessibility, which is a point in the Antarctic that has been rarely visited by humans. As you might expect, the settings are almost entirely snowy and icy environments. The cinematography is very good and emanates a very frosty mood throughout the entire film. Like from start to finish, you're in the snow and ice here. There are some pretty cool camera shots, like one where the camera is inside of a small ice hole, and we see the characters walking the snowy terrain on a sunny day. There's a lot of pretty cool shots in this, actually. And in terms of wintertime atmosphere, this is just legit stuff. There are some nice thrills at times, like the early scene where a man is quickly saved from falling into an icy cavern. Kind of shows the proficiency of our protagonist as well in navigating that type of landscape. And some moments are nicely creepy and well executed. For some reason, I classified this movie as a thriller instead of a horror when I originally saw it, and I have not seen this movie in a good 15 years. This is definitely a horror film, though. Upon rewatch, it definitely is, and a lot of it is psychological. Now, script-wise, I do like the dialogue and the character bonding between the protagonists early on. They do actually discuss what it's like to explore desolate, snowy locales. There are some arguments over survival strategy that are touched on later when things get dicey, and that creates some stress between the men. Also, you do wonder what happened to this group of British explorers, which creates kind of a mystery component. On the other hand, this does have a pretty slow pace to it, and the runtime is just under 2 hours. It does drag a little bit, and some plot points could have been more clever and nuanced, like the Black Journal specifically. This seems to be the main criticism of the film, that the script was not quite as deep or strong as it could have been, and I can understand that criticism to this. There's also a bit of ambiguity in providing definitive answers for everything. But the performances are good, as you might expect, from Song Kang-ho and Yoo Ji-tae, and you will recognize some of the supporting actors as well. But I enjoyed this film. I think if you enjoy deliberately paced, atmospheric horror movies that are set in the wintertime, I recommend Antarctic Journal. And like I said, it has a little bit more of a psychological aspect to it, as you'll see when the film rolls along. But it's currently streaming on Tubi, so it's easy to find. So if you have an opinion on this one, let me know what you think. And as always, folks, I'll see you next time.